Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for coming out today. My name is Steve Shoney. I'm the Director of the Department of Development for the City of Columbus. This is a really exciting next step, and this is a part of how we really try and bring around our neighborhoods. And if you were with us for the announcement of this program, it was a really cold and really wet and really windy day in Linden. And I think the change, the evolution of the weather that we've had since that, hopefully is parallels the evolution we're going to see of some of these buildings that we're working with. It's very exciting today because we're announcing the next step, which is to announce our grantees for the first installment of the Learning Skills Lifting Neighborhoods grant program. I want to thank a couple people as we start out. And first and foremost, I want to thank council members Jiza Page and Shannon Hardin. This really was their idea. They came to us last year in one of our regular meetings and said, "Hey, we have this idea. How do we really bring together the assets that the city has, both in terms of land and in terms of the ability to bring dollars to bear to help some great agencies around town that are trying to bring job skills and jobs to different kinds of folks around the city, while also bringing housing to our community." And they saw it through. They found the dollars. They've been with us every step of the way in terms of implementing the program. And this brings us to a great point today. I'd also like to acknowledge some folks on my team. Hannah Jones, who's behind me, Hannah Reed, who's out in the audience, and John Turner, who's the head of the city's land redevelopment office, also known as the City Land Bank. They've been instrumental in really working through this program, as well as Kim Stans, who's on our team, helping to work through this program. With this grant funding, we're really going to be helping to do some great things and put in great housing. And we're always looking to revitalize our city. So we've got a short program for you today. I'm going to turn the podium over to Councilmember Page here in a second, as well as Council President Zach Klein, and then Shannon Hardin's going to close us out. In between, you're going to hear a little bit from our three great grantees to hear about the fantastic work that they're doing in our city to bring skills and jobs to our people. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Jiza Page.
Again, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Director Shoney. I would like to echo Director Shoney's thank yous. I would first like to thank my colleagues, Council President Klein and Councilmember Shannon Hardin, who have been with us every step of the way in helping to implement this program, figure out the details, and really determine what we can do as a council to continue to reinvest into our neighborhoods and to our residents. And I would also like to thank the Department of Development. You all have been a great partner, not only at helping with the application, the review process, the review committee, and coming up with just the implementation of this grant program. So I appreciate it. And also to the review committee. I believe it was about 5 or 6 volunteers who are invested in public service, who are invested in the city of Columbus, and they got together to review all these applications and pick those who they really believe have great applications and are ready to pour into the individual communities where the reinvestment will happen. So thank you. I am really excited to see the labor of our program come to fruition. As chair of the Housing Committee, one of my top priorities this year is to continue raising the quality of life in our city. And I will let you all know, I will say that a lot this year, raising the quality of life for our residents. And one way to do that is to continue to reduce the number of blighted properties and work to help revitalize our neighborhoods. The goal of the Learning Skills Lifting Neighborhoods program is to provide grants that promote workforce development training in the construction trades for youth and restored citizens, while also transforming vacant and blighted structures into productive parcels. Again, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I would now like to ask President Klein to come up and make comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Page. One of the most important roles I think I play as City Council President is doing my part to empower my colleagues to accomplish the goals that they have. And when you have such wonderful people serving on Columbus City Council like Jiza Page and Shannon Hardin, two dedicated individuals that care tremendously about the community, that want to do the right thing, that are brilliant, that are smart, that when they come to to you as the council president and to the director with an idea like this, you want to make sure they have the runway to be able to take off and succeed. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor recognized today through a program that matches human capital with city capital and resources. And to be able to allow folks to exercise, hone, and expand their skills while at the same time transforming our neighborhoods to raise the quality of life in the city of Columbus for every resident, I think is a very special program and special skills that we can provide as a city of Columbus to make a difference. So I just want to, on behalf of me being the city council president, just recognize the work that Shannon Harden and Jiza Page have played in transforming neighborhoods, empowering individuals, and lifting up the quality of life. So thank you for being great examples and community leaders, and certainly thanks to the Department of Development. Sometimes when we come to ideas with the administration, there's always some good push and pull, but that's what two branches of government do. But kudos to the Department of Development for recognizing how important of a program this can play in our community and really making a difference. So thank you, Director Shoney, for being a willing participant and a great cheerleader for all the residents of the city of Columbus. So at this time, I think I am going to turn it over to Hannah.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. What I'm going to do is give you a little bit of insight into what we were looking for in the application process. We allowed applicants to apply for up to $20,000 per site for 2 sites. So 2 different parcels they could apply for a max of $40,000. We did give a priority to the utilization of parcels that did come out of the land bank, and we were very excited to see a variety of opportunities, both parcels that were owned by organizations, but also an opportunity to utilize some that were already in the land bank. We accepted the applications in the fall of 2016. We had a total of 7 organizations who applied, which for a pilot program is very exciting, and we look forward to seeing all of the interest in the near future. We will be making the awards and giving out the grants in 2017 as the work is underway. We've had a wonderfully snow-free season, so hopefully everybody can start their work sooner rather than later. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Councilmember Page to announce the winners. Thank you.
So again, here's the exciting part where we announce our winners. And out of, again, the 7 applicants, the selection panel decided upon 3 finalists who will receive the awards. The first one is J. Gyra Development Corporation. JJDC holistically serves individuals, families, and the communities in Central Ohio. They are a faith-based ministry representing related sectors of the Central Ohio community and partner organizations. Founded in 2009, their organization is built upon the solid foundation of quality services and skilled planning. Let's give Jay Gyra a round of applause. Our second winner is Franklinton Rising, and we are actually in the structure owned by Franklinton Rising. Franklinton Rising is a 501c3 nonprofit that teaches life skills, job skills, and belief systems to at-risk youth living in the Franklinton area of Columbus, Ohio, one of our oldest neighborhoods here in Central Ohio, and other nearby inner city neighborhoods. So let's give Franklinton Rising a round of applause. And then our last winner is Franklinton Gardens. Franklinton Gardens has developed into a thriving network of gardens and food production sites scattered throughout the neighborhood's urban landscape. In addition to their food production efforts, they offer a wide range of activities, educational programs, and employment opportunities in order to empower neighbors and build a healthy community. So while we're giving Franklinton Gardens a round of applause, I'd like to ask all of our award winners to come up and just briefly talk about your projects. And again, congratulations.
So Norman, do I get your turn too? Well, thank you all for being here. This is quite an honor. And my name is Tom Hefner. I'm representing Franklinton Rising. And I first of all would like to thank our board members, and several of them are here, for their vision for even thinking about this kind of work in revitalizing neighborhoods, working with people, and with working with houses. But especially today, we want to thank the city of Columbus, and specifically the City Council and the Department of Development for their real insights in thinking about the need for skill development in revitalizing neighborhoods. It's easy to look at houses. I mean, it's, you know, you see this, and by the way, if you happen to go on the other side, we welcome you to do so. There are some hard hats in the back, though, that you should put on because the other side is not quite as done as this side. But as you look at houses, it's easy to see the transformation take place. But we really know the real transformation is about people. And so Franklinton Rising is about identifying and raising up young adults who could be anywhere from 17 to 30 some years of age, who want to learn skills in the building trades and yet probably don't have a good pathway to do so. And so by us bringing them into the Franklinton Rising program, they have an opportunity to work underneath skilled contractors, our staff, as we are rehabbing houses in the neighborhood. And the plan is that at some point in time, these trainees will literally get full-time jobs working for contractors, working towards a good career. And then we want to rent back to them the houses that they've helped rehab, assuming that they would like to do that. And then after a period of time of faithful financial performance, taking care of the properties at a discounted price, we're going to sell the houses to them. So we can take young adults from a neighborhood who maybe don't know where they're going in life, don't know what they're going to do. We can help them develop life skills. We can help them develop job skills. We can help them get full-time employment. And we can help them ending up in a home that maybe is one of the nicest homes in the neighborhood. And we want to do this for a lot of houses, by the way. And more importantly, we want to do it for a lot of young adults in the community. Well, the funds that we're receiving are going to be used for two properties. This one, and one about 2 blocks west on Hayden, which will be the next property that we'll start. And these young adults who are working, we have about 7 at this stage who are working in the houses, and they're working underneath our staff again, and they're working underneath our contractors who, as I say, they've agreed to work in slow motion. In other words, they're teaching as well as doing the work in the houses. We have another half dozen trainees who are starting in classwork, which is preparatory for being able to work in the houses. So this is going on, and the work in this house, the money that we'll spend in this house is for funding all of the materials, the lumber, the bricks, flooring, all kinds of materials that will be used in the rehabbing of this house. It will also be partially used for paying some of the contractors that will be working with us as well. In our second house, we haven't really done anything with it, and so the funds from the grant program will be used first of all for roof siding and windows. Roof siding and windows. We want to get the exterior completely refinished and redone before we start. And then leftover funds will be first used for demolition, and then we'll start on the framing if there happens to be any funds left, which there probably won't be unless we can come up with more. Was I looking in the right direction? What we would like you to know is that our rehabs are total rehabs. These are going to be like new houses. I mean, this house, as you look at it and you see, well, yes, there are some brick walls, but everything else essentially is going to be brand new. It will have 100% new mechanicals. That means wiring, plumbing, HVAC. It'll have complete new walls, floors. Everything in the house will be like new. Because this is what we want. We want these houses to be durable. We want them to be modernized. We want them to be attractive homes that people can feel comfortable living in and that they're going to last for a long time. And so for those people, especially our trainees who may happen to take these houses, they're going to have something that will last a long time and will be an asset, appreciating in value and giving them an opportunity. So that's what we're doing. The house next door, by the way, is our first, and you can take a look at it and see what they look like when they're finished. Thank you again. We appreciate all of the fine efforts in supporting us.
Good afternoon. I don't think the mic is working. I said good afternoon. Good afternoon. Come on, give me some love now. Give me some love. My name is Norman Brown. I'm the pastor of J. Gyra Ministries Church, but I'm also the executive director of J. Gyra Development Corporation, and that's the purpose for being here today. JJDC is a faith-based nonprofit organization. The population who are our client base are at-risk youth, ex-offenders, and veterans. And we're mainly working over in the East Main Street area. And so we're grateful for this opportunity to receive this grant. So we're thankful for the City of Columbus for giving us this opportunity to empower and lift up our community. I remember a couple of years ago, I met with Mr. Klein, and I told him, I said, I'm glad what's happening in Franklinton, I'm glad what's happening in Driving Park and some other communities, but on Main Street, we need some love too. And so we believe this is the seed process from the beginning for us to get us some TLC, and we're really excited about this opportunity. Our narrative is very similar to Franklinton Rising and also do Franklinton Gardens, because we're doing a cross-pollination of what they're doing. Over on the Main Street community, we have acquired 4 different houses, and we've already renovated 2 of them, and 1 is almost completed. We provide housing for our ex-offenders and veterans. We have a housing, mentorship, and employment program. My background is in construction. I'm an architect. And so as far as my paradigm, what we try to do for our client base is to get them back into the marketplace, especially from the construction trades opportunities. And so we allowed organizations like Youth Build for those young people to get involved in what we're doing. We also, in our community, we have a great deficit regarding health and wellness and diet and nutrition. In our community, 55% of the population have chronic diseases. It means heart disease, diabetes, things of that nature. And so we're trying to address that as well. And so what we're also doing is that we've been fortunate to partner with Columbus Land Bank, where we're doing urban farming in our community. In our community back in the 1800s, it was part of Kimball Farms. So we grabbed that vision of what was happening over 100 years ago, and we're doing urban farming in our community. So our project for this particular grant is to allow our clients who are ex-offenders who are living in our homes to get job training skills within the construction trades. We have a house on Berkeley Road, that's going to be renovated, and we're going to give them OJT experience. So they'll have an opportunity to do that type of work, to get also construction work down the road. We've also have 3 lots of properties that we do urban farming, and because of this grant, we're going to be purchasing what's called a hoop house, or better known as seasonal high tunnel. And so we've already gotten opportunities to purchase 2 more, and this will be a 3rd one. And so in our community, we'll be able to grow produce 12 months out of the year. So that will give Barney and Fred and Bam Bam, I like Flintstones, an opportunity to get a job by digging in the dirt, getting their hands dirty, but also to empower and lift up our community as a whole. So we're dealing with brick and mortar. We're also digging in the dirt, because our passion is we develop brick and mortar in order to develop flesh and blood. I thank you very much for this opportunity, and we're excited for this grant and what we're going to do for our community. Thank you for your time.
All right, Nick Stanich with Franklinton Gardens. So thank you, City of Columbus, for supporting us in various capacities since 2007. We started back in 2007 on a City of Columbus land bank parcel to create a community garden. That was a number of neighbors who really were very concerned about the lack of fresh food access in this neighborhood. Really no grocery stores, no fresh food purchasing points anywhere in Franklinton. You had to go across the river, under bypasses, to get to any sort of grocery store. So neighbors just said, hey, we're just going to start growing food and sharing it here. We're going to build community and create beauty and solve a number of different problems with urban agriculture, with civic ag. So in the last 10 years, we've expanded from that single community garden on a land bank parcel to about 30 different parcels throughout Franklinton. Manage about 12 different gardens, 2.5 acres. I think 8 of those are City of Columbus land bank parcels. So we're very excited to be able to direct some of this Learning Skills to Lift Neighborhood grant program funding into some of these additional land bank parcels that we've developed in the last year or two and are going to bring online up here in 2017. The Parcels to Places grant that was awarded last year, it was another City of Columbus program, is going to fund an education garden over on Town and Hawks, right across the street from Gladden Community House, next to Avondale Elementary, next to some other community anchors like Mount Carmel, St. John's, the library. And this funding from the Learning Skills to Lift Neighborhoods program is going to provide some labor to help push that development, but that labor will be organized and managed in a way that's an educational experience. We're going to bring in a number of individuals through Clean Turn's Passion Purpose Profit initiative. We're going to hire them, ex-offenders who will be vetted by Clean Turn, come and work with us, and we'll provide an educational experience to showcase how urban agriculture can be built, essentially the initial skills you need to build urban farming. So we're going to build fencing, we're going to build garden beds, irrigation systems, high tunnels, showcase how to clear lots, basic lot clearance, grading, light construction, how to build sheds, all the essentials you need to start a farm. And this is really pertinent right now because urban ag is a very sort of trending topic across our nation, across our cities, as a way to revitalize sort of blighted corridors, focus on urban farming. It's a way to build a food system in a space that otherwise doesn't have any development. But we don't have people that are well sort of trained in building these systems right now. So this Parcels to Places program, augmented by this Learning Skills to Lift Neighborhoods grant program, is going to ensure that in Franklinton, really in the City of Columbus, working with Clean Turn, we're going to train a workforce to help build urban ag sites. So the Parcels to Places garden, that learning garden, that'll be the first garden that we work with in this program. Additionally, we're going to do some work with the participants to build out some additional stuff at our community garden, our very first land bank parcel. We're going to build some more fencing and additional beds there. Uh-oh. Hard hats? We're going to we'll expand into an additional garden site on Sullivan. Many of you have been along Sullivan. It's a street that needs a lot of attention. There's a garage the land bank owns. It's zoned commercial. We're going to bring our food processing hub over there, build out all new really walk-in coolers and produce sort of distribution out of that site. Additionally, have a garden, greenhouse, fence, and it'll be a training site for this program as well. So we're excited to share this with the City of Columbus. We're excited for the growth of urban ag and how committed City Council and the Department of Development is to supporting urban agriculture. So thank you.
Well, just to close out, and I'll be very brief, just really my job is to say thank you. I think good policy comes from people, and as a member of council and in my previous role working in the mayor's office, the idea of using either land bank homes or partnering with community agencies that are supporting young people and figuring out how to teach them skills, something that folks ask for over and over again. So you get a good policy from the people, and then you mix that with a great policymaker like Councilmember Page, who figures out how to get it done. And so I want to thank Councilmember Page for her leadership, for taking the time to dig deep and to work with Department of Development to put together a program that hopefully we can continue to encourage and push throughout the neighborhood. Certainly want to thank the awardees of the grants for their work and working with folks from our communities, our restored citizens, and young people to give folks second chances, but also new opportunities. And really my role was Councilmember Page, after she had done all the work, said, you want to partner with me on some funding for this program. And so my work was really easy to say yes, because she had did such great work. So thank you so much for being here. Again, if you would like to, well, even if maybe on this side too, put a hard hat on if you'd like to tour. Thank you so much.